We charge Postmaster General Donahoe with slowing down the mail, undermining service, demolishing tens of thousands of good jobs, and closing processing plants. Do you say he's innocent or guilty?
It's time that we ask for the resignation of PMG Donahoe, and we vote on Resolution 246.
All those in favor, brothers and sisters? The motion carries. Postmaster General Patrick Donahoe has just announced his resignation.
For the American Postal Workers Union, 2014 closed with a victory and preparations for bargaining for a new contract. Greater rank-and-file activism, a strong alliance among the 4 postal unions, and a growing coalition between postal workers and the community had begun to change the balance of power. President Mark Dimmenstein outlined a broad vision for the contract. No concessionary bargaining, stop the race to the bottom, and turn the struggle with postal management in a positive direction. The negotiating team conducted research, formulated union demands, and prepared witnesses. Locals organized contract action teams to bring work floor pressure to bear on postal management. Union members reached out to allies and the public at large for support.
I'm here for the consumers, for the small farmers. I'm here for the inner city neighborhoods. I'm here for all the people who are dependent upon this postal service and want it to not to shrink, but to expand, to do more.
This has to be everybody's fight.
When you come after family, you got to get all the brothers and sisters. And the brothers and sisters are ready to go.
You are our postal service workers, and we believe in you and what you do. We are with you. We will stand with you. You will set the stage for all of our contracts to come.
Throughout preparations for bargaining, negotiations, and arbitration, the union scored important victories, winning key settlements and arbitrations in the motor vehicle maintenance and clerk crafts that strengthened job security, winning a new contract for support services, bringing post-plan work to APWU members, and getting 35,000 postal support employees converted to career status, a life-changing event won by the union.
We coming, we ready, we coming, we ready. This is our moment, our movement, our time. We want it, we coming, we ready, let's ride.
As contract negotiations began in 2015 between postal management and the union, it was clear that 2 profoundly competing visions of our postal service were set to clash.
We strive for dignity and respect on the job. We believe postal workers should be justly compensated for our service and our hard work, should be provided a safe workplace, and after concluding our careers, enjoy a secure and dignified retirement.
To underscore the importance of the United States Postal Service to the public at large, the APWU invited labor and community allies to the opening day of negotiations with postal management. It was an unprecedented move.
These bargaining sessions, this set of negotiations, is important to the United States and to working families everywhere. The service has been a cornerstone of communities all across our great nation.
But postal management had a very different idea. The USPS was demanding a new round of concessions. The union said no and continued organizing at work, educating in the community, holding rallies and circulating support postcards, keeping up the pressure for a good contract.
Where the papers at? We want a contract. Yeah. Where the papers at? Yeah. We need a contract. Yo, Vinny, hit 'em.
They look at me like, little man, what you doing? Why would you go and take a stand for the union? Why? So I replied, I got plans for improvement. Understand it's not a stance but a movement.
Where the papers at? We want a contract. Where the papers at? We need a contract. Where the papers at?
With the contract for United States postal workers set to expire in less than a week, more than 100 locals across 44 states are taking their message to the streets.
As stalled contract negotiations went to arbitration, the union continued its don't back down strategy based on work floor actions, grassroots mobilization, strong alliances, and an effective media presence. It paid off. Victory came in July 2016 when arbitrator Stephen Goldberg awarded a new APWU contract that represented real progress on most of the union's major goals. The union secured real wage increases, strengthened job security, defended the COLA and no layoff protections, and enhanced the career and full-time workforce. The union also succeeded in stopping management's concessionary demands for increased percentages of the non-career workforce and a new lower tier of career employees. The contract victory was the result of a 2-year struggle. It reflected greater rank-and-file activism, a growing coalition between postal workers, the labor movement, and the community, and a strategy designed to build union power. With all that going on, while immersed in the fight for a good contract, the union waged many other battles in defense of the public postal service and APWU jobs. By the 2014 APWU convention, delegates were already fired up by months of local actions at Staples stores all across the country. A growing list of unions and allies were ready to act.
I want everybody to know that we will never shop at Staples until they stop what they're doing to the post office.
In the months to follow, customers stayed away, company stock fell, and stores began closing. Postal management was feeling the pressure. As he was leaving, Donahoe admitted that his shady deal to put retail operations in Staples and other non-union, low-wage corporate stores had faltered.
Just this past year, the American Postal Workers Union mounted a protest campaign disrupting our partnership with Staples. And unfortunately for now, it's a little tougher to find retail partners.
When Staples tried to fix its ailing business by merging with Office Depot, the APWU helped stop it cold. And 2016 saw more good news. A major ruling of the National Labor Relations Board ordered the Postal Service to immediately provide the APWU with uncensored copies of all documents related to its deal with Staples, documents that could reveal ugly secrets. The movement to stop Staples continues with a strong determination not to quit until the APWU drives the office supply chain out of the postal business. But postal management's obsession with cutting jobs and service is everywhere. The APWU also fought sustained attacks on 6-day and door delivery, cuts in customer service hours, chronic understaffing, unsafe working conditions, and the closing of mail processing centers. In January 2015, management made drastic cuts in service standards, lengthening the time it would take mail to get from point A to point B. The APWU went into action, mounting protests and rallies in all 50 states and attracting significant public attention.
Just hours ago, a major protest over at the Flandreau Drive Center where we saw workers holding signs, handing out these leaflets. We even saw 2 mayors stop by to voice support.
Postal workers say they're concerned not only for their jobs, but also for customers.
The mobilization got good press and won support for the goals of the APWU across the country. And in contrast to postal management's constant cutting, the union made innovative proposals to increase USPS revenue by adding services rather than destroying them. Postal banking emerged as one such idea that would provide communities devastated by predatory lenders with a viable alternative. Postal banking gained significant support in the community and from prominent political allies like Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. But opponents of a vibrant postal service don't rest. A healthy public postal service is a dangerous example for a political system wild with greed and privilege.
It's a total mess. We need to separate the post office completely from the U.S. government. It's obviously becoming obsolete.
Clearly, the fight for America's postal service is bigger than a tussle with bad management. Wall Street and corporate America can't stand the idea of a public trust like the Postal Service. They only want to pick over postal bones for easy profits. To protect that public trust, the APWU helped build a broad coalition, a grand alliance to save our public postal service. Since its formation in February 2015, the group's 140 national, state, and local organizations have championed our great national treasure, advocating for enhanced service and fighting efforts to dismantle the USPS. The alliance produced a video featuring Danny Glover, held meetings with the Postmaster General and congressional staff, conducted field hearings in 5 cities, and organized protests. Powerful alliance voices have rallied community after community.
Mr. Glover, this is personal to you, isn't it?
Well, it is. You know, my parents came to the post office, young parents who were building a family, building a life, and that life would not have been built had it not been for their employment at the Postal Service and the work that they did and the belief that they had in that things were changing in this country.
The U.S. Postal Service is a powerful symbol. It has a public mission enshrined in the U.S. Constitution and, unlike private corporations, does not exist to make a profit. As the second largest employer in the United States and with its unionized workforce, it has a lasting legacy.
The U.S. Postal Service hires a lot of veterans. You know, the U.S. Postal Service hires women. The U.S. Postal Service hires people of color. I mean, this is the great American melting pot, our post office.
Defending the People's Post Office goes beyond the bargaining table in our communities. The APWU took its values into the political arena itself, where a long-term ally was fighting for working Americans.
Last week, the American Postal Workers Union announced that it, too, was feeling the burn.
Though Sanders fell short of the nomination, his influence on the platform of the Democratic Party meant that the APWU won explicit support for nearly all issues outlined by President Demosthenes in a presentation to the Platform Committee. The platform includes eliminating the 2006 congressional pre-funding mandate to pay retiree health costs, restoring service standards and maintaining 6-day and door-to-door delivery, appointing members to the Board of Governors and Regulatory Commission who champion a strong public postal service, expanding postal services, including postal banking and vote by mail. The APWU National Executive Board endorsed Hillary Clinton for president on July 29th, the day after she received the nomination of the Democratic Party. Delegates to this convention will debate and vote on the endorsement. Elections come and go, but the movement must carry on.
This is a part of a bigger picture.
Yes, it is! Yes, it is!
That's why we must all join each other in these fights.
Yes!
We are all in this together.
And whether it's a fight to defend Medicare, expand voting rights, overturn the Supreme Court's undemocratic Citizens United decision, defeat the TPP trade deal, or walk the picket lines in solidarity with striking Verizon workers, APWU members stand with allies and the community for a more just world. The APWU's biggest victory is the strength of the union itself. Locals and members have become active like never before. Democracy is in the air. New ideas and new allies are creating an activist spirit. And the APWU is emerging as a leader in the labor movement, in the political arena, and in our communities, fighting for the public postal service, fighting for workers' rights, fighting for our cities and communities, fighting for justice.